How's it going, everyone? This is Kid Camel returning back to you about Sabacc. I received a couple of requests about the rules and also the instructions and winning hands and everything you need to know about the game. So here we are. We have Sabacc. It is 2 to 8 players, 10 and up. And here we go. Let's get started. The rules of Sabacc. There are 3 suits called staves: circles, triangles, and squares. There are 20 cards in each stave, split between red and green. There are 2 0 cards. The 3 staves are of equal values. The green cards are positive, and the red cards are negative. So you have +1, +2, 3, 4, all the way up to 10. And then you have the negative numbers, -1, 2, 3, all the way up to -10. And then, so here are your green positive nut cards and your red negative cards, and then your 0 cards. The object of the game is to score as close to 0 as you can with your cards. The setup: choose someone to be a dealer. That player is the dealer for the first round. The player to their left is the dealer for this next round, and so on. The dealer also plays. The dealer shuffles the deck, then deals 2 cards face down to each player, beginning with the player to the dealer's left. Players can look at their cards, but should not show them to the other players. The dealer places the remaining deck face down in the center of the group. This is the draw pile. Dealer takes the top card from the draw pile and places it face up next to the deck. This is your discard pile. Here's your gameplay. The game is played in 3 rounds. Each player takes 1 turn per round. The player to the dealer's left always goes first. Each player has the option to gain a card, swap a card, stand, or junk. Players can never swap a card without receiving one in return. Calculate your hand. Remember, green cards are positive numbers and red cards are negative numbers. The object is to have cards with a score of 0. You should always have a minimum of 2 cards in your hand. When it is your turn, choose one of the following options. Gain. Take the top card from the draw pile. You may keep the card, or you can discard it, or you may discard. If you pick the option of discarding, you must discard before you draw. Alright, gameplay continues. Swap. Take the top card from the discard pile and place a card from your hand face up on the discard pile. Stand. You do nothing. Stand if you do not wish to take a card or discard on this turn. Junk. If you feel you cannot win with the cards in your hand, then you can place all your cards face up in the discard pile and exit the game. If only one player is left, they instantly win the game. End your turn, and the player to your left begins their turn. So, alright, so gameplay is you have 4 options. So from the discard pile, you either gain the card. If you like it, you keep it. If you don't like it, you discard it. Swap the card. You could keep the card that you drew from the discard pile and keep that card and discard a different card. Stand. Again, you could not do anything, keep the 2 cards that you originally dealt with, or during gameplay you could just continue keeping those cards or draw from the discard pile. Or again, like it said, the last option was the junk. If you feel like you want to fold, you just go ahead and just discard all your cards. So after each player taking their turn, that is the end of the round. The dealer rolls the Sabacc dice. If the dealer rolls a double, all players' cards are placed in the discard pile. The dealer then deals new cards to all the players. Each player receives the same amount of cards that they discarded. If the dice are different, players keep their cards. So here, let me grab the dice. So here we are with the dice, and as you can see, here are the identical matching symbols. So again, if you get matching symbols, when you roll the dice, you discard all your cards and you draw new cards and the equal amount of cards that you originally had. Alright, so after all 3 rounds are played and the Sabacc dice have been rolled, the third and final time, all players show their hands by placing their cards face up in front of them. The player to the left of the dealer reveals their cards first, followed by the player to their left, and so on. The player with the best hand wins. And then on the back side of this, of the instructions, or the directions, they actually have all the winning cards, or the winning hands that you have an option with. And honestly, it's just very similar to playing poker. You draw the cards just like you play gin, but in the end, you're playing with the best hand like you would with poker. So you got pure Sabacc, 0 with exactly 2 0 cards, full Sabacc, which is 0 with exactly these cards, which is the 2 positive 10s, 2 negative 10s, and a 0 card. There's a fleet, which is 0 with 4 of a kind except 10s, and a 0 card. The lower integer wins. So for example, 4 3s beats 4 6s. So here on the example, you have a +5, or +5, -5, +5, -5, and a 0 card. Yeehaw! 0 with 1 pair and a 0 card. Again, the lower integer wins. So 2 5s beats 2 8s. The Rylet, 0 with a +3 of a kind and a negative pair for, or vice versa. Oh, it's kind of like a full house, but you have your positive and your negative to zero it out. Again, lower integer wins, so 3 2s beats 3 6s. There's some other options on here as well. Squadron, 0 with 4 of a kind. The lower integer again wins. Gee whiz, 0 with these specific cards: 4 positive 1 through 4 and 1 negative 10, or 4 negatives 1 through 4 and 1 positive 10. So the example here, you see a positive 1, 2, 3, and 4 with a negative 10. A straight Cryon, 0 with a run of 4. The lower starting integer wins. So the example here is a +7, -8, -9, +10. But it says the lower integer wins, so 2 3 4 5 beats a 7 8 9 10. Banthus Wild, 0 with 3 of a kind. Again, lower integer. Rule of 2, 0 with 2 pairs. Again, the lowest integer wins. So the example here, you have 2 +3, 1 -5, 1 +5, and a -6. Or a +9, -9, +4, -4. Sabacc, 0 with 1 pair. The lower integer pair wins. Sabacc with most cards, 0 with the most total cards. The highest total number wins. 4 cards beats 3 cards. Sabacc with the highest value cards, 0 with the highest positive number card totals. The higher totals 10, sum of +6 and +4 beats a 9, sum of +4 and +5. Okay. So you have Sabacc with the most cards, and then you have Sabacc with the highest value. So that's how you would determine on who wins who, or who beats who. So like for example, the Sabacc with the most cards, it shows a -2, a -7, and a +1 and a +8. So +9 and -9 zeros out. And then here it has a +9 card and a -2 and a -7. So again, the higher total number wins. 4 cards beats 3 cards. So if you had the 4 cards, you would beat the 3 cards. And then when it's Sabacc with the highest value card, so it's 3 cards each. So if it's the 10s, so this one is a +6 and +4 and a -10, where this is a +4 and +5, which is a 9, so the highest value card will win. And we got some more. Sabacc with the highest single value card. 0 with the highest single positive number card. If the positive number card total is the same, the higher positive number wins. So +8 beats +5. A Nurlock closest to 0. Okay, so this is not getting a 0, so here it shows that a +1 beats a +2. And then Nurlock with a positive score. So this one is a +3 and a -2, where this is a +2 to -3, which is both +1s. That doesn't make sense. Closest to 0 with a positive number, if players have the same total card count and the same integer, the positive number wins. Okay, I see what they're saying. Alright, Nurlock with most cards, closest to 0 with the most cards. If player have the same sum, the player with the most total cards wins. There you go. And then a Nurlock with the highest value cards, closest to 0 with the highest positive card total. The higher total 13, sum of +9 and +4 beats 12, which is a sum of +7 and a +5. Okay, so they both got a +1 at the end, but because of the higher values, the higher value wins. Nurlock with the highest value single card. Okay, so they're both +1, but because the top hand is a +10, it beats the +9. And then single blind draw. If all scenarios prior result in a tie, each remaining player must take 1 card from the draw pile. The player closest to the 0 wins. Oh, okay, it's like highest card. Well, in this case, lowest card wins. If the players have the same number, the positive number wins. If the players tied, they draw again until a winner is determined. All right. Well, there you go. Here are your rules of Sabacc. Hope you liked this video. Make sure you subscribe, hit that notification button, and I'll see you guys around.